The following may include subject matters of war, violence, loss, and adult themes, which may not be appropriate for all audiences. Viewer discretion advised.
And welcome, faraway friends, curiosity seekers, and connoisseurs of fantasy the realms over. You have found yourself at Darkeport. Thank you for joining us. Yay!
Yay! We love you! Thank you for being here.
That.
Yes.
We have our sister stream, Constructed Chaos, which we are shamelessly stealing from tonight, and I can finally, and it's live, yes?
Yes.
Sorry, I just want to confirm.
It's there.
Okay.
It's there.
Wonderful. So we have emojis custom for our members.
Oh, very cool.
And they look really good.
Very
neat. For YouTube only, we're going to figure out how to get that on. Oh no, on Twitch we need 3 more people, or we need to hit 50.
Yeah, you need to hit 50 on Twitch.
So we need 3 or 4 more followers on Twitch. So if anybody wants to do that for us, make a Twitch account and
sacrifice.
We can probably get there. We can probably get there tonight, or very soon, and then we can get the custom emojis for Twitch viewers too.
Yeah.
So really excited about that. That's been a project. Thank you, Corey, for spearheading that and making that happen. And basically, I've been Alex, if you're watching, I've been salivating over those custom emojis pretty much since I saw them. I'm like, I want that for us. And so, so there you go. And you can just play around with that and be surprised by what you find, because they're all the characters and then a couple
other things. Yes.
Couple surprises there. Yeah. And that was. We should put in the description Orichan, the artist who made it. I'll note it.
Yeah,
I'll note it.
That.
Yeah, she was just fabulous.
Wonderful person. You have any emojis done?
Yep. All right. And so yeah, Constructed Chaos, our sister stream, they do their thing every Wednesday, same time, 1900. Go check them out. A lot of fun. They've had some serious encounters lately. I finally got a chance to go back and watch the entire Gorgon episode, and that one that was a little crazy. 1 Gorgon and 2 basilisks in a sealed room. It was a good time.
Wow.
3 out of the 4 party members were statues before that fight was over.
I love it.
Otherwise, we have a sponsor, a person who is with us on our journey.
Thank you so much again to Eldritch Foundry, the last name in miniatures of all kinds, all fantasy backgrounds. They have the coolest tool in the world to go mess around with and fulfill your imagination's desire. Please check them out using the link in the video description below. Thank you, Eldritch Foundry.
Yes.
They were star of last episode. They were right in front, everywhere.
It was front and center. And Tatiana, Corey's going to help you make your first mini.
I'm very excited.
So, because it's time for Wasa to get a glow up.
I really like the pie, though.
Right,
I mean,
the pie is very fundamental.
I feel like she's
iconic.
I feel like she's in a different place now than when we made that first mini.
Once your lover leaves the Terra,
Yeah.
Never mind tapping Ocatla ancestral
You never count.
memories.
Which we're going to have, but that's a good segue, Corey, which we're going to have a little bit tonight. And I'll do my little narration once we're fully in the world. But today is part 3 of the Age of Tezcatli, because Donnie is out of state for work. So we're going to be doing that. And it's going to be this is actually going to be a 2-parter, which will be the first time for this kind of, it's not even a side, it's really a sub. And I think today you'll start to see the tie-in to the main campaign more clearly. On a couple different fronts, but we haven't had 2 in a row before. So, because Allie, you're going to be gone next. You're also going to be, I believe, out of state next session. So it's like, yeah, let's just do it. Let's just roll with it and get that deep history in there. Looking forward to it.
Yeah.
All right, and we're gonna do. Yeah, actually, go ahead and light the candle, and then I'll get into that.
The candle of tales.
Wow, that was quick.
I mean,
It
good
really
job.
wanted to be told today. So
It really wanted to
I
be
don't know
told.
why it's faster or slower.
With that character, not
quick.
Wesa. Wesa's a little slower
No,
pace.
Ocatla's ready to she's ready to go.
Moving groove.
Maybe that's it.
Tatiana was fired up before. She's like, let's do it. just before we started rolling.
No.
So there is a journal entry. However, I want to run one scene. Randy, you have successfully advocated for your character, and I do think we need to establish who the Shadow Fox is, and Anole, aka the Shadow Fox. So I want to just finish off that scene with the merchant that was going on at the end of the last Age of Tezcatli, and then Tatiana, if you can grace us with your journal entry, and we'll pick up about 10 days later after that, and then I'll work initially into the narrative.
very cool.
So, this is the Age of Tezcatli, 400 years before the chosen defenders of Germentum took up their guardianship and ferocious defense of the Dream. A different cadre, indeed a coterie of chosen strode Terra. This is the story of their fall. This is perhaps also the story of their rebirth. We will see. I know Tatiana and I are the only 2 people who know where we left the Urlet, because we did that for your prologue for Wesa. But there are many, many different ways that this can go, and we'll see who survives and who doesn't, and what the choices were of the ancestors 400 years back. Okay.
Wow.
So there's just been honestly, you guys killed them pretty handily. So these Belai scavengers, aggressive, like apex scavengers, coming in through to vulture on your beautiful city of Koyotl, which means beauty or beautiful in High Valpyrie. Randy, you are not actually Urlit. You are Kuind. And those viewers who know what the current situation is know that eventually the Urlit turn on the Kuind hard and essentially attempt to exterminate them in the current era of the campaign. That hasn't happened yet, although you are a subjugated people. Many of the Kuind are slaves. You are not a slave because you're chosen, which is ASCII Teotl, or ASCII for short, is the word for it in this era with these people. So your loyalties are, I'll say, are an interesting grab bag right now of what's going on. And so to remind the players as well, because it's been a hot minute, and the viewers, they've just essentially slaughtered this group of misguided Belai scavengers who came in. They did not expect to find you or any of you there. They thought that there'd still be chaos. And while this fight was going on, the Shadow Fox had made his way around some rubble. You had spotted a merchant who was seemingly fearless, or at least very inquisitive, and he was hiding back and down from some of the waterscaping. So Koyotl has superior waterscapes and superior sanitation, and in some ways architecture to anything that the current Terra has. So even the current Urlit capital is definitely like probably 2 steps under what this beautiful city was with the rising pyramid and the underground waterfalls and, crap like that, or, wonders like that. Okay, so you're there. Make a stealth check.
Yep.
Yeah, you're probably going to get him.
A lot.
As long as you beat a 9, you're
A lot.
You're good.
Yeah, I
Okay.
got 17. So.
Okay, so yeah, he's old boy is just completely enraptured by what he's seeing. This is funny because we're fading out, and then Nalishli is going to be 10 days later. So Nalishli's just taken out was it the Bazaret? I have to go back and look at exactly what that was, but you had taken out the Bazaret and the Bazaret's owner that were both in there. And this, of course, is Ocatla was whispering sweet nothings into Huatli's ear. And then Ocatla, you're going over to minister to your friend because you see he goes into convulsions, and you're terribly concerned about him. So you go over to minister to him.
Oh no.
Yeah. Okay. You're coming up on him. What do you do?
He's watching. At the last moment, he was kind of backing up because he saw that the tides had turned. He was about ready to run, if I remember right.
That was your take on it, but yes,
right.
he was backing up.
I'm gonna get right behind him.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna put my dagger to his nuts and my sword to his throat. Shh, shh, shh. Your next words might be your last, buddy. Take a moment.
Effendi, there's no need for such unpleasantness.
And there won't be no unpleasant.
Because, he was putting the finger up to the short sword.
We're gonna have a conversation, you and I, right now.
It's a highly unusual way of having one, Effendi.
Negotiations go both ways.
Is this negotiations or a shakedown?
That depends on you.
I am truly listening.
I can tell. So here's what the problem is. You backed up some really, really bad people out there. Watching, doing nothing.
I was a watcher.
Oh, of course. You're just an innocent victim here. Of course you are. Of course. And we can get you out of this, so they don't need to take your life. But there's...
How good to have a friend.
It's very good to have a friend, yes. Glad you understand. And I'll let it up just a little bit.
Okay. He says, of the two of them, Effendi, life is worth nothing. Here, keep this one here and the other one down a bit, huh?
Fair enough.
Okay, so you keep the one at his throat and then the one... Okay.
I'll leave it against his thigh.
Sure.
But just a quick right up and it's done.
Okay.
No more children for him. That said, so how badly do you want to live? Because your friends over there are dead.
They're no friends of mine.
They won't see that way. You know that. You're a shrewd man.
I don't know that.
But you do.
Well, to answer your first question, I am rather addicted to breathing.
I love that about you. You look so good breathing. So here's what I want you to do. First, do you have a coin purse? This is the shakedown part.
Well, I'm glad we're getting to some clarity between the two of us, huh?
Eventually. But this is going to be beneficial to you. Quite well.
I'm dying to hear how I'm going to benefit from this interaction. And he reaches down to the obvious part, grabs a pretty fat, well-oiled, well-cared-for coin pouch, and he doesn't toss it, but he kind of just puts it up in your face.
Quietly.
Yeah.
Quite well at this. So
I know my way around this place.
this
Others.
city is falling.
You think so?
Yes, and you ain't want to be here. And I ain't want some people of mine to be here either. This is the negotiation.
I should have asked. I should have listened to what my second wife told me.
Should have. Women are smart.
She is timid sometimes, but I don't know.
My people are the Kuind.
And his hands have dropped, and he's just resigned himself.
My people are the Kuind. They have been subjugated by these fuckwads as long as I can remember, and before. I am done with that.
This is how history works.
It is, but this is the only opportunity that my people and you can escape the city before it falls fully. Do you want that or not?
I wasn't interested in escape until a few flickers ago.
Well, now you are.
Escaping you?
Perhaps. But if you fuck my people, I'll be right back for you. Don't think I won't, because you know who I am.
I have
if you
no
don't.
quarrel with the Guild.
Good. I want my people gone, and I want you to have sole trade responsibility with them once they are settled in their place. They are talented, gifted crafters. They know things. And if we go to a new continent, I'm thinking east maybe. If we go to a new continent, they will be the only ones who have those skills, those crafts, those neat little things that no one on that other continent would have. And that's money in your pocket.
Making a couple rolls here right now. That's why I asked for your character sheet earlier. Yeah.
This is an opportunity.
He's still facing away from you, so you can't read. You can't read his face. Yeah. He keeps his cards close to his chest, but he's listening.
I don't have anything against you, and I understand.
Oh yes, this is the flower of the Gorm.
Yeah. Take it as you wish. You could be dead now, bleeding out on that floor just like all the rest of them, but you ain't.
True.
So my people are at the docks. They're called the Coend.
I know who they are.
If you get them out, I'll give you this pouch back. I need that coin.
The coin is the evil.
Right? Everyone thinks it's so important, but it ain't.
Information is the actual coin of the realm.
So, get my people to safety. You will have as much trade as you could possibly have or want with the brand new people that have never been seen.
The Coend are poor people.
Not once they get to where they're going.
By design, you know that the Yaralit will never take their boot off the neck of your people.
They don't have a choice right now. Look what's happened, man. Just take a look. You're not stupid. You can see what's going on here.
I think you underestimate what's walking out of that pyramid.
I think there will never, ever be another opportunity like this again. That is what I think.
You're probably right. And this time he takes it, and he doesn't shove, he doesn't like slap it away or anything, but he just kind of pushes it out.
All right. Have we gotten the call?
He turns, looks over his shoulder. I believe we have a mutual alignment of interests to be determined length, eh?
Fair enough. As far as I'm concerned, once they get to where they need to go and settle in, you can scot all, fuck all. I don't care. Do what you want. Make your own life. Be whoever you want, with your second wife, third, fourth, or fifth.
Oh, I will continue right where I left off, Effendi.
Enough.
Khalid the Lucid has not been a survivor this long merely to die on these foreign shores.
I'm glad to be an agent of helping that along, of your living, your continued breath.
Yes, how magnanimous of you.
We all take our opportunities where they come.
Indeed.
You know, it's just business, brother.
Just business.
However, the rewards are great.
And you believe that that young lady, that young Askitioto lady, who's up there, who's clearly in charge now, would she just find all of this business? Or would she take it a little personally?
Maybe. But to be perfectly frank, it's a small subjugated tribe who has no real bearing on what she's doing. They use them as sacrifice. She might care. It might be a blip in her consciousness. But she's got so much bigger shit to do right now. So much bigger shit.
You have never seen a young person duly to a throne, then. I have. It is not a pleasant thing for the people. Much better for an older person to be in charge. They do not have the same, how do they say, peace and vinegar.
I'm staying here. She ain't need to know they're gone. And to be...
She's going to know.
Eventually,
very soon.
Sure.
Eventually?
Yeah, eventually.
Less than a torch before they leave. Unless you give her something else to think about.
Such as?
And we'll cut the scene.
Okay.
Okay. So, ready? Are we ready to peer into Ocatla's private thoughts?
Sure.
Okay.
Here we are. Isn't it amazing to watch each thread take its place, each motion build the pattern so pristinely? It is as if nature willed it that way, as if all the forces desire this creation. I am not the one who chose this. I was chosen. I was trained. I was built. I'm just a servant. It's easy to take what is meant for you. If it wasn't destined, wouldn't it be harder? If I wasn't the one, then why have I done it? Fate prepares the best of us, plucks us from a life of mundane weakness, and thrusts us into importance. Fate paves the path. It deafens the nonsense, mutes the unnecessary, and amplifies the one way. Like a blazing flame in a tunnel of dark, there's nothing but following the orange glow, because it is the only way. And what lies in the dark is forgotten. My brother lies there. I barely remember him now, because all I can see is the next step.
Woo! Okay.
One day later.
Damn.
Nope. Can't.
Okay.
Can't even with this right now, man.
So, the next characters. No, that's really good, baby. The next characters. You know what? This is almost a little perverse, and you're gonna have to keep track of the difference. But for her performance in the last session, I'm gonna give Ocatla inspiration.
Thank you.
You inspired at least yourself.
Okay. Gonna pick up with you, Tobias, and you are. Actually, just remind everybody who you're playing real quick.
I am playing Tanok.
Tanok, and he is known in the city for
the weaving of war drums and the
playing
and
the playing
thereof.
And equal in both capacities.
Yes,
Okay.
preferring peacetime much more so, but is initially came through as one of the marchers for the soldiers.
So 10 days on, the city is beginning to pull together. Obviously, rescue efforts have turned into recovery efforts, unfortunately, and the death toll is staggering. It's even worse than what you thought. It's gonna be a while, but probably something like a third of the population got crushed and destroyed, or has just vanished. So, you're still looking at thousands and thousands of people though under your command. The nobility has fled, and where would you find yourself at this time? Where would you be directing your efforts?
He would have gone initially to Nanettle.
Yeah,
who was Zipili and Ocatla's mother. He would probably be the one who breaks the news to her.
Yeah.
So they would have a bit of trauma bonding there.
That's terrible. Yeah.
I think. Yeah, I think he's probably spending more time there. I don't think he has much in the way of family himself.
Okay, so that is where a certain person finds you. Let's see. After 10 days. I'm gonna, Tatiana, since you're basically in charge of the city right now, let me know if I need to change any of these descriptions, okay?
Okay.
But I'm gonna assume that there's been some sort of camps that are put out, that you're basically taking stock of water, taking stock of preserved food. Woven blankets would have been passed out. You also have to think about defense, because you know that the Balai are actively scavenging the people you fought last Age of Tezcatli episode. You know that they're actively scavenging, and they're basically a bunch of notables that you're on the lookout for.
Okay.
Different potential ASCII teodal, different the heads of different guilds, the senior priests and priestesses who might still be alive, etc. So you're gathering them up. So this would be at one of the quieter camps. You see, how would you do this? Make a perception check. I want to see if she just comes up on you. Sorry, Tanok. Make a perception check. I want to see if she comes up on.
Ooh, 18 on the die.
Wow. Well, she's really sneaky too. But okay. You hear a soft crunch on some of the ruin rubble behind you, and you're a bit
Probably
jumpy.
a little jumpy, yeah.
Yeah. Oh man. Oh my gosh. I'm really out.
Who's there?
Lanali, silly. It's Ocatla's protege. She's 14 winters, and you know that she's been out for moons, checking out that the western colony if there's a viable place. She's come back. She is her cruel childhood nickname was Paija Face. She's not a particularly comely individual. But she is certainly ASCII. She's the next generation of ASCII Teotl.
How's your face? Are you?
Oh, thanks. I'm gone.
back?
I'm gone for 3 moons, and yeah. Well, now I think that I should have found Ocatla or Lady Ocatla now, I suppose, before I came to you. But I had this thing about like your kind of good luck, and make an insight check.
9 on the die.
I'm actually going to give her disadvantage for this. For reasons. She's playing like there's the kind of the familiar pattern of banter back and forth, but you see flash behind her dull brown eyes that are cruelly inaccurate windows because she's actually quite intelligent. Is a fierce concern / relief that she's seeing you more than you would have thought.
Sorry, you just startled me is all.
Yeah. Oh, her mom's asleep, so is the pilly. That right? Okay.
Yeah.
I'm so sorry. She comes up closer to you and she kind of puts a gloved hand out awkwardly and then retracts it and then puts it out.
Thank you.
Yeah, I guess I'm supposed to be leadership and everything now.
So what, are you the lady in waiting or something?
The nobles they're crushed, dead.
Most of them.
I think the priests were in some kind of ritual, and I think almost all of them got killed too. Are there any priestesses left?
Not that I've seen, or at least none beyond the priestess.
I have word for the lady. I need to get to her, but why don't you? I'm really glad you're not dead.
I'm glad you're not dead too. I hadn't heard from you in so long.
I'm not worried about myself. I can handle myself out there. I'm a blend of city and swamp. You know that.
I guess it was good you weren't here.
No, it's horrible that I wasn't here. I could have saved more people. That's what the coterie is supposed to do, right? Protect the people who can't protect themselves. Isn't that? Co-op.
What happens when they can't protect themselves? Nothing. No ASCII Teotl, no Ocatla, nothing could stand against what that thing did.
I don't believe that. I need to see what happened. Ocatla's invincible. He would. So if you haven't seen the other episodes, that's the leader, the incredibly powerful leader of this fellowship, of this version of the fellowship, who is a cousin to Nalishli. He is a divine construct who is in his 80s. So if you can imagine Nalishli with another 75 years of experience or something,
And wisdom.
Be incredibly strong. Yeah. I need to see how he should have been able to. Come on. I don't want to tempt fate a second time. And this time she authoritatively reaches out, grabs your hand and starts pulling you along with her.
Look back to make sure the door is locked or shut or anything.
Yeah, well,
she's asleep.
It's more like curtains
yeah.
and makeshift structures. But yeah, Nanettle is just deep, and she's been shattered. She was never strong like her daughter. She was weak, and
Mundane.
Mundane, even.
Can only be one.
So she starts walking you over, and Nilishli, you've just summoned tremendous strength of spirit and resolve. You have not just fought off Winter's Harvest compulsions, but you have come of accord, and you are him and you are you at the same time, and you have it. You feel your power, his power, but your power, your joint power, singing in your veins as you stalk across this hallowed grounds of the cathedral to cleanse it of the abomination that has let himself in and is trying to murder your friends and you. And then you're here.
Shocking.
And you have this weird like dual moment where things slow down and over there they slow down and you can see what's going on, and then you kind of have this slight falling sensation, and you know that there's this other time, this other place that is happening, that is always happening, but you're here, and this is reality for you right now, and it's brought you, even in this absurdly dangerous moment, Winter's Harvest has brought you to this freaking place again. You look around and make an investigation roll just to kind of orient yourself.
Plus.
I think plus one. Intelligence.
Yeah, we're 15.
15 total? Okay, that's pretty good. You're looking around. Okay, so you recognize Kofi. You've been to the city twice now. You recognize the ruins. You judge it at least several days. It's actually 10 days, but at least several days after where you were at, because cleanup has started, mourning has started, and people have just they've given up trying to do some of the traditional burial because there's just so many dead, and so they're basically doing like stone cairns, like mini stone cairns, with where they find, because they can't with just muscle power. There's no way that they can move some of the massive masonry, tons and tons of stone off of people, so they just mark it, and that's how it's going to be. So you're walking, and you see one of the men who had been in the party. You hadn't really had a lot of chance to talk to Nock, but you do recognize him from the last time that you were here. And there's a girl who reminds you of a much more raw-boned version of Wesa, who has the same age, 14, who has his hand and is like kind of not aggressively, or not like mean-spiritedly, but pretty authoritatively bringing him along. And she stops and looks at you.
It's Tezcatli's champion.
Hail.
I don't know how I ended up back here. What day is it?
And they give you the date again, and it just means nothing to you.
It's been about 10 suns since you were here before.
Oh. Well, where's Ocatla?
We're going to her now, champion. My name is Lanali, and she actually kneels to you.
Hello.
You're sent from the Dread Mother?
I believe so.
Then please, it would be an honor. Come with us.
Where are you going?
To find my. I was going to ask you this when she encountered you, but I'm actually going to ask you first, Tatiana. Does she address you as lady sister? Does she address you as mistress? Does she address you as Ocatla? Does she address you as auntie, sister? How would she? Unfortunately, we're speaking English in High Vale Piri. They're like more precise terms for all of that. So she, but we have to translate it.
Yeah,
So
I think mistress.
Mistress. Okay. So I'm going to seek my mistress, Ocatla, Lady Ocatla.
You work in the temple with her? How is she your mistress?
She and the others of the coterie bade me. No, I'm asking Teodal myself. I went to see the viability of starting a Western colony. The city was becoming overcrowded. It's viable, but I have a lot of things to say. Maybe it's not. I left several score of my fellows there to hold the space.
So you do not know what has transpired here?
No, this is horrific. Tanaki has told me a little bit. I'm going to say you talked a little bit
Recovery efforts have begun. It's bad. It's really bad.
The nobility has fled the city, if any of them are even alive. Almost all the priests were at a ritual during the combat. They're dead as far as I can tell. I haven't seen any priestesses, and our healers are gone or exhausted.
The lady would know much better than us. Come.
Before I come, I must ask, how long have you known Ocatla?
She's been my mentor. She's practically almost a second mother in a sense. Since I was, I think she found me, I think I was 4 winters. I have very few memories, really, that don't have her.
Answer me this. At any point in your time with her, did she show signs of being dishonest?
What? Ocatla? No, never. Of course not. She's part of the. How can you eat champion? To be frank, I'm surprised you would even put the question to me. She's a beacon of moral rectitude and honor.
The coterie are avatars of virtue.
Yes.
Of strength, of compassion, kindness. They are everything we seek to be in the best of us.
Have you heard of her brother's passing?
Yes.
Okay. Lead the way.
Also, Grim, thank you for the 5 gifties. She takes you kind of near, just even without really asking, she just takes you to the pyramid because she knows that's where you're going to be, like instinctually.
And he's not wanting to engage with her. He's walking as far away from her as he can. He doesn't like that question.
Okay. Lenali seems to have largely shrugged it off. You don't have to make another insight check because you did several last time, and then the first time when was NPCing you got to see this as well. So you know that these people consider you like semi-divine. So like normal people, ascetiodal constructs, divine constructs, and then the gods. So she's walking along. Etzli. So you have come back to the city. You are in the process of mourning your father, Huatli's death. You successfully escaped. So this was Corey's last character's daughter who did successfully escape. I already told you offline what she was going to tell her father, her little secret.
Mm-hmm.
And currently, your husband, or your betrothed is trying to rally what's left of the nobility to the west, because there were some members some lesser nobility who went there on a lark. So he's trying to consolidate that.
West of the city?
Yeah. So basically, where Lenali was going to see if that was a good good spot for the new colony.
Gotcha. Okay.
So you've come and you are walking through the streets of your beloved home. This is the first time that you've been back. You see the death, the destruction, the countless thousands who have been crushed, and some more who died in fires. Bless you. Some more who died in fires. Evidence of this titanic struggle that took place. Ocatla, the leader of the coterie, his body has still not been found, even after all this time, and you've been looking for it. You still have not been found.
Right.
And you, so what do you would be instinctively going toward the pyramid, but what else? Is there anything else that you're trying to do before you present yourself to Lady Ocatla?
She will kind of gauge, like, what parts of the city. As she's walking, there will be a single tear or two that drop on her face. She quickly wipes it, and then returns to more of a casual, not stern, but just like focused.
Focused. Okay.
Focused face. And as she looks around, she's trying to observe like exactly who is still alive, from who's helping. I mean, is there any military left? Does she see any priests or priestesses?
So, it seems that almost to a man, all of the priests were around or inside of the pyramid, attempting to beseech Coatl, and they got crushed when the Green Doom flattened the pyramid. There are a handful of priestesses left. A lot of them were with their male counterparts. A few of them were not, though, and they were tending to various duties and stations throughout the city. You're still, trying to take in the magnitude of all of this. You go past...
Is my best friend with me?
You go past... she isn't, no. But I'm going to say that you came to the city together. She's ready to check on her family.
I was going to say, that's the first thing I would do is go.
Yeah, she's ready to check. Yeah, she's ready. And then she's going to meet you. She's also going to meet you back at the pyramid. You do understand that Ocatla has survived, and as you're going, make a perception check.
Perception?
Yeah.
That would be a 20 dirty.
Oh, okay. Your head snaps around. You see a slight golden glow coming from behind some rubble.
Oh my!
You go over there to investigate, or you keep pressing on? Okay.
I'll slowly walk towards there.
All right. You see a wizened, shattered looking, although physically intact, Azel. So this was the powerful healer who was deep in the grace of the Lord of the Dawnstar, Coatl. He was the one in the very first session who took off some of your exhaustion, who gave you the warmth and took off some of your exhaustion. Yeah.
It was.
Who was going to be Randy's character, but Randy was sick that day. Yeah. So he's, he's older. I mean, he's always been the oldest of the coterie, but now he looks just elderly. And you see he's tending to the wounds of a young girl. Her family kind of arrayed, shivering. They've cried all the tears they have, and they're just kind of in shock. And he looks, just gray with exhaustion. Just hollow-eyed, hollow-cheeked.
How do I address him? ASCII Azel, or is he an ASCII?
Yeah. Oh yeah. No, he's absolutely part of it. Probably Lord Azel.
Lord Azel. Oh my God! Glad I found you. You okay?
He blinks and.
Oh, let me tend to you. And she'll check him over with medicine.
Okay.
He's okay.
You give him some of.
You pull a rag with the water or whatever.
As you give him some of your own bark, and he chews on that to kind of the herb-soaked bark. Actually, that Watley taught you to make. That helps drive away some of the fatigue. Child, it's been an absolute nightmare here. It's been 10 days and 10 nights of hell on earth. But I've saved as many as I could.
How much does she know of the dragon, the egg, in terms of when she left and what she saw or did not see?
Not the egg. Unless your character Randy has been making that general knowledge, that is not known. So not the egg, but you would have known that the Green Doom came and smashed and apparently defeated the coterie and killed your heretofore invincible leader.
Have you seen my father?
No, child. I fear the worst, though. I know he would have been by the side of mighty Ocatla, and it's just been. I don't even know if Ocatla knows that I'm still alive. It's been absolute bedlam. Here, it's time.
Something's wrong.
Help me.
Of course.
Help me go. So he kind of grabs you, and it looks bad.
I help her up with my weakened little thin self.
Okay. Okay. And you start toward the pyramid. Let's see. You. Okay. And there you are. At the pyramid. What do you where are you hanging out at?
Some kind of like inner chamber that feels contained.
Okay.
I'd say that she's wearing some kind of like marking of grief. Nothing that's grandiose because she needs to appear strong, but
Like a black band or something?
something like that.
Okay. So, Ocatla, you've had some time now to delve into these artifacts. And you have found several things. One of them that you found is that the headband of Taluk, the headdress. Not only can you shift between every language that you've ever heard of, but I'll give this to you mechanically. I'll give this to you mechanically first, and then we can talk about the narrative. I usually like to go narrative first, but any time that you concentrate on an area, a discipline of science or history or lore, it just kind of starts coming to you. And essentially, whatever you put your attention to, you have proficiency in.
So clear cognition. Kind of?
Yeah. And if you already have proficiency in it, like if Ocatla herself already have proficiency in it, then you have expertise, then it gets doubled. Then your proficiency gets doubled in it.
If I'm wearing it or if I'm holding it?
You have to wear it.
Okay.
And then the other thing is that you find that your thoughts are more clear. They come swifter and with more ease. So you're effectively 2 points of intelligence up as long as you're wearing it. And then finally, it's an artifact.
Yeah.
Finally, and you know that there are layers to it. So like if you sat for it longer, you could probably pull more of its abilities out. But your mind feels pretty well shielded from any outside interference, including your own powers.
What do you mean by that last part?
So essentially, you're going to have, if somebody tries to use any sort of magic or other effects on you that interfere with your mind or your ability to have autonomy, you have advantage against them.
Gotcha.
Yeah. So it's a potent little headdress.
Is there any negative to wearing it all the time?
Ugly as sin.
It's gorgeous, but you don't actually know yet.
Okay.
That's a good question, though. You're wise to ask that.
Yeah.
And then, of course, you still have the talon, which has a somewhat more straightforward use.
Correct.
And then the last thing I'll ask before you get back in: has she stabbed anybody with the talon in these 10 days?
Someone kind of small, not a big deal. Someone that just was interrupting her in the middle of something important.
Okay.
And no one saw.
Right. Did they survive? Or no, they did not survive.
Of course not.
Okay. So there would be rumors. Actually, no, because she hid the body. I'm trying to think of how that would play out and who would have seen it. Okay, it would have been remarked that there were some weird, in the midst of all of this craziness, that there was some weird sort of substance that was found in the temple that that degraded very rapidly down, and then once it was gone, there was just water in the hands. Because remember, these people don't have refrigeration, and you're close enough that they've never seen in this particular spot. you probably haven't even seen snow, or very, very rarely. So it's a weird little thing, like ice. It'd be like icicles, but those don't exist here. And essentially, that talon is doing cold damage every time you're hitting with it, as well as its own sharpness. Okay. So you're there, and one of your many messengers, Domina, the daughter of Watley is here to see you. She beseeches your presence.
I let her through.
She has returned safely. She fled with the others. I will fetch her then.
Thank you.
Yes, and he bows. So the guard who came half dead and stumbled, you've actually found that he has a head on his shoulders. His name is Amoxt.
Amoxt?
Amoxt, Amoxt.
Cool.
And unless you tell me differently, he's been by your side day and night.
He's my boy.
Yep. So he says, "Hold, Domina, with your blessing, I should go and get her. It's appropriate. She's the daughter of a fallen Asketeotl."
She just nods.
Okay. And then he runs out, and the other page kind of falls back a little bit, blushing a little bit and embarrassed.
Azil's with me as well, right?
Azel's with you.
Azil with me, yeah.
So as fate has a way of doing in this in the transition between ages, you have Tanakh and company show up, and then you have Etzli and Azel show up basically at the same time in front. I'm going to say you guys get there first because you're having to drag along this guy who's half dead. And you see the pyramid nullishly very much as you left it. It has been a little bit cleaned, but you remember stepping out of it and fighting. Of course, those bodies are long gone. You never actually got the scroll that Home Dude had, did you? You were reaching for it to get it.
There was a bag.
A bag, and you never got into the bag. You never had a chance to get into the bag. Okay. So you currently have that scroll.
Okay.
And that scroll is an Incendia scroll. So it's a scroll of fireball, which you know is a dangerous thing.
What does that mean?
You cannot use it, but somebody who is trained in the arcane arts could invoke a gout, like an explosion of fire, using it.
Using it.
So yeah. So you want to hide it, or you want to? Did you keep it, or did you destroy it?
I feel like she destroyed it.
Okay, so you took it and you ripped it up. Okay, and then burnt it. Yeah.
All
okay.
right.
No, that's fair.
Okay.
Important to know. So
Things that were used against you.
as soon as you show up, nullishly the guards who are around, because remember most of the most of the pyramid's been collapsed. So the guards that are around it, they just immediately drop down to a knee and kind of avert their gaze. As you come going up.
Can I figure out what she is, or attempt to understand the dynamic here?
You would see that as you're coming up, like on the back of it. Make
Seal, what is she? At least with that, I'll also make a roll.
make an investigation roll. Let me see how quickly you kind of deduce this.
Nope.
No. Okay.
Like, nope.
Not one.
No mother's blood. No mother's blessing.
There's no mother's blessing, Corey. That's true. No, that's
New die, because this one rolls ones a lot too.
You're playing a human.
You do roll a lot of ones. Thanks.
Yeah, you roll a lot of 20s too, but yeah.
The die is weighted on.
But with the mother's blessing, it's okay. Yeah. He says that is, I believe that is the same being, a cousin to our great lord, but sent from Tezcatli. Look at her skin. Look at her hair.
Oh my.
Yes.
Do you bow? What do you do?
Well, you bow. And he smiles. Of course we bow. Of course we bow, darling. And he's kind of been like a grandfatherly, figure to you your whole life. So he comes crawling up. He comes kind of limping over there, and
I will do appropriate bow to in her wake.
well, you have to.
As we get there.
Yeah, as you get there. So the same guard, Amoxt, it takes you a second to place him, but you remember this guy was running around with you, the one who was half dead. who is kind of like basically just shambling around and standing guard. I think this is the same guard that you gave the water of life to, the healing potion to. I'm pretty sure. Okay.
Yes.
So his eyes go wide because he's thinking he's going to see her, and he runs out there and and he says, Avatar of the Dread Mother, you have graced us once more. You've come back.
I'm not entirely sure how, but I have.
It's been 10 days now. Or actually, I like that, Toby-sans. It's been 10 suns since you left us. You seek Lady Ocatla.
I guess my path leads me back to her once more. So yes, I do.
Ah, Lord Azel! Pardon me. And he runs by you. Sir, we weren't sure. And he takes the old chosen's hands and squeezes him, and you see tears in Amox's eyes.
Don't know Mox at all?
No, you haven't met him before, but Azel is revered as a healer and like the voice of Coatl, in this age of in which is still supposedly the age of Coatl.
Be careful. He's tender right now.
I see that. Your coterie mate my lady will be very keen to see you. You've survived and brought hope. You've brought the Lord of the Dawn Star and his word along with you. This is a wonder upon wonder, sir. Thank you. Let me just get in. It will be good to see her face, her young, resolute face once more. So this mishmash of
I want to ascertain his demeanor here. I want to understand if his emotional state, or is he being sincere, or is there something amiss?
The guard.
Yes.
Who walked out. Okay. Yeah. Sure. Go ahead.
Ooh, that is going to be a.
You recognize him too, of course. He looks at you and just kind of to knock him.
There's actually a little bit of like, oh my goodness, a little bit of hope. A little bit of the old
24.
A little bit of
24.
24.
sun.
He has drunk the life water. He is totally you hear the fervor of the newly converted.
Oh, newly converted. Okay.
And yes, and when he speaks Ocatla's name, there's an undercurrent of reverence. So, all right, you walk across. You have never been this deep. This is the most that the public has ever seen, because this is like the inner pyramid. It was you could get executed just for stepping on the pyramid, let alone getting inside and going down. But now it's open to anybody who's passing by. I mean, you would put some hides up or whatever, but I mean, it's shockingly open. So even you have never been here before. Your father was never able to take you in here before. But there are some of those lower chambers that survived, where you took the steps down, and there's some catacombs down there. And that's where you've based up, because it's one of the few like still hardened, secure points in the city. And you actually found where these fools were keeping. The Shadow Fox was right, because you found where these fools were keeping that dragon's egg. You found like the jeweled cushioned bowl they were keeping it in, and all of this. I mean, you've tried to puzzle out. It was some weird variations of sorcery that were going on around it. You don't know what exactly they were trying to do. You have some inkling of what they were trying to do to you before, and it might have something to do with that. And actually, go ahead and make me an Arcana check, and I want to see how much more, because you're the only person who would have had a chance to study it. So you have some warring impulses in you, because you are curious about it, and you do want to know. However, of course, it's a risk to have anybody else in here. So your eyes are the only eyes that have seen that actual the egg chamber. You haven't let anybody else in there. All right. So you have this ragtag group, and you don't just get Etzli, you don't just get Huatli's daughter. You also get Nalishli again. You see Tanakh.
Convergence.
And
Does not want to meet her gaze.
your protege. Okay. and your protege, Lenali, and as soon as she sees you, I mean, you haven't seen each other for months now, for moons. Mistress! And she runs over to you and gives you like a big hug unless you stop her.
And I embrace her. You've done good. I know you've done so good.
I'm so sorry I wasn't here to help you defend the city.
Don't be silly. You were where you needed to be. Thank you.
I have so much to tell you, mistress.
I can't wait to hear.
Important news about the colony in the west and its prospects. And perhaps, she looks around at the devastation, perhaps more now than ever.
Absolutely now more than ever.
And then this is about the time that Shadow Fox comes strolling in. And he's been in and out, and the two of you have just been kind of dealing with each other, you know. You as the senior, but the city's short on defenders right now, so, and with the Belai circling you like a wounded animal, they're a scavenger circling a wounded animal. You can't turn them away, or at least you haven't yet.
Angel, I hate to do this, but Val Paranoia here. I want to assess their current, like, are they scared? Are they with intention? Are they hiding anything? These sort of things.
Actually, this will be an interesting exercise. So we're going to do all of this above table, so that everybody can see everything, and then it's going to be incumbent upon you to avoid metagaming. Okay, make 2 different rolls and know who you're rolling for. Like roll 2 different ones.
All right, this will be the fox. This will be
Okay.
Ocatla.
Yeah. Go ahead and roll it, and then both of you go ahead and roll deception.
You can look at these.
For me?
I got a natural 20 on Ocatla, and that one is a 10 plus. Hold on here.
Okay.
That is perception? No, that's
It's insight.
insight. That would be 18.
18. Randy, what did you get?
I got a 15.
15. Okay.
24.
24
Natural 20.
for a total of.
Oh, that'd be 28.
Okay. And I want you to make an insight check.
Okay.
And
you
deception?
to make a deception check.
I don't care.
Insight, 22.
22.
No, natural 20. And that's a higher plus.
Okay.
Plus 9.
Little girl.
You, at least in the moment, you do not know that she's reading you.
Yeah,
was-
probably.
That's why I doubled them.
Don't take her seriously.
There's a lot. I mean, there's a lot going on. She's not ASCII teodal. To you, she's she's a pretty face or whatever. There might be a slight irritation in there because she's considered to be slightly better looking than you in the city. That's that sort of thing. Or maybe you don't give a shit because she's not ASCII. But
Yeah.
there's just seeing. I guess Ocatla can be what she is, but perhaps she's not vain.
No, I don't think so.
And
No threat.
so right now she seems the flower of yearling innocence.
I might have even done her gowns at one point. She commissioned it.
Perhaps. So what are y'all feeling right now? What is your state?
Like with each other, or just myself?
Between each other, kind of, because she's reading the dynamic.
Oh, okay. I guess there's like a certain level of tolerance. There's not like a real strong warmth. Like whatever warmth I'm sharing is coming from a place of
Necessity, maybe.
necessity and like diplomacy. But yeah, it's just
not
a tolerance.
genuine.
It's not.
Aggressive?
It's not deep.
Yeah, it's not covering the heart. Okay, fair enough.
You got, what, 3 points more than I did? She's the leader of the city right now. There's nothing I can do, really, beyond the small things I've been doing over the last 10 days for my people. There's nothing that I can really do to her or against her. I don't really have any interest in attacking her at all. Like, as far as I know, she's the head of the coterie right now. There's a little bit of distrust, but that could just be a residual distrust of everybody. Because do I know her? Does she know me?
You're aware of each other. Yeah.
So, I mean, I've never been close with just anybody, really. I've never been close. So there's always going to be that residual distrust. So,
And also, Corey, remember for your character, he's not Earlit.
Right.
His blood is inferior.
Right.
Yeah. ASCII teodal or not, you're still the chosen people of Tezcatli, etc. Okay.
I would say that if you were just looking at me, it's like clocking into a job. And then just sort of sitting on back.
I'm going to add one other thing because I want to play fair with you, and you did beat him. There is a through line of resignation of just being resigned to the situation.
Okay.
Ocatla is still very difficult for you to read, by the way. That was a 24 in the defense. It's just you're extraordinarily good at picking up on cues. I mean, you're her equal, but she doesn't know that. Okay, in that way.
How old is she?
She's about 20.
And I'm
24.
I'm 24.
24, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, mostly I spend my time just weaving clothes.
Well, she's one of the best. She's like one
Who's
or...
a better weaver?
That's right. That's true because you do have it. Unfortunately, she has expertise in weaving, so she's a little bit better than you.
I have a +6 in weaving.
She has a +9.
9.
Yeah.
Maybe I do have a little bit of weaving.
That's the thing that's irritating. Yeah.
That irritates me.
That's all I do is weave all day.
Okay.
Wow.
So there's that, and just as a reminder, she was the one who was betrothed to one of the few worthwhile nobles in the city, who Donnie's going to play next session. But yeah, okay.
She was betrothed.
Is.
Assuming he's still alive,
Oh, okay.
because a lot of them croaked. Yep. Okay, so we have a happy family reunion going on in the catacombs of the pyramid.
So if I just arrived, I will go forth, pay my respects, give a bow. Do we give a bow?
Yes.
Do I high priestess?
Yeah.
I'll give my bow as well, of course.
It depends on. You would address her as lady,
Lady?
unless you have assumed the title of high priestess.
Not yet.
Not yet. Okay. Yeah, I feel that.
Domina, I'm at your command.
It seems that you have all come at the same time. I can imagine there is many different sorts of business that needs to be done now. Please present yourself first. I look at you.
I am presented. I stand presented. What am I to do for you?
How are the camps going?
The camp's in disarray, as one might expect. A lot of people died with the wave and everything else they came on through. We're slowly making progress in getting the people back together, but there have been some losses.
And the Belai are gathering on your eastern side.
And of course, then there's the Belai on the eastern portion. The Belai.
How many of them?
Do you have a number count?
At least 100 of them.
Do I have a last? I know it's a weird word, but like a census of how big their tribe is, all things considered.
You don't know.
At least 100, easy.
We need to organize.
We do. Do we have a leader of the attack? Is that me? Is that me?
It might as well be you.
I guess it's me. Right. Then what do I have at my disposal, Mum?
I mean, I would just point to him places where we had, like, weaponry stored and just anything that I don't know where they are. I don't think they'd be in this pyramid.
Domina, excuse me. I know I'm speaking out of turn. What is our policy on deserters? There have been desertions of the militia and of the military.
She's just like in awe, like desertions.
Yes, Domina. They fled before the Green Doom, and when they came back, they said all was lost, and they don't want to defend Koatl against the Belai.
The traitors, and they need to die.
But do we negotiate with them? Do you want me to try to go back and convince them to come back to the rightful place and do their duty? Or we're collecting them. We've captured several, but there'll be more. I guarantee you.
They must understand the wrongness of their actions.
They're afraid, Domina.
I'll make a recommendation. Do we know the camps and about how many there are? Give or take of the people have they congregated?
The camps for
of the deserters. Are they just going everywhere direction, or are any of them congregated?
I mean, there are pockets of them, but
then we take the ones who are the rabble rousers, and we make examples of them. The rest will fall into place.
That's what must be done.
Understood. Should I enact thy will now?
Please.
I will do so. Okay, and your guy goes out and starts putting the deserters in order. Okay.
Traitors.
Who's next?
Anna,
Oh, it's good to see you.
you as well. Have you... I'm looking for my father. Is he around?
Oh,
Go away.
I'm so sorry to be the one to tell you.
What?
Your father is a casualty of this horrible, horrible event.
No, how? He was with... No. How did it happen?
Wally died?
Ollie died?
He fell. Something terrible, something dark has been moving around the city, and it took him. I believe it's trying to take anyone
I want to assess her at this point as well.
hold the city together.
Okay, make an insight check. Make a deception check.
I've been saying to myself. Can she make it with advantage if I...
Oh, if you aid her, yes. What are you doing?
I've been seeing it myself everywhere. It's just kind of creepy, nasty. It's dark, broody.
Okay, Tatiana, roll. You get advantage. Roll again.
You don't have to use your inspiration. You can...
Not yet.
Oh, I get to use inspiration?
No, you.
I mean, no.
You get advantage because he's basically throwing cover for you, so you get a second roll. We'll see.
Okay. 25.
You beat me.
What's your roll?
21.
Well, thank goodness I rolled again.
It seems she seems legit. Like I was telling you though, you're kind of running that over. You do understand how the Chosen operate, and unless you kill them outright, they don't die. Like they recover very quickly. So you would probably want some more details on that. But it's also not appropriate to press the head of the city right now.
No, I want detail.
Yeah. Right.
Am I outwardly going to state that?
That sounds very weird to you. Yeah.
Do I know that Nalishli saw me?
Nalishli didn't see anything because she was up way ahead of you with the bag and fighting.
But I think the last session she saw me whisper.
I did.
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
No, you're right. You did.
Do I know
actually,
that she did that?
Make a perception roll and see if you caught it.
All these perception roll flying.
10.
Man, you guys are making it hard for me because that's a fairly obvious thing, and I know Nalishli wouldn't try to hide. Nalishli doesn't try to hide things.
No,
really.
I feel like it would just be her eyes. But I don't know.
Okay, I'm gonna say with a 10, you're not sure.
Okay.
You know that she looked back,
So
but she could have been looking back for 20 different reasons.
Maybe the emerald there was giving you a little
Yeah.
distraction still.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
But you did see you did see her moving her mouth and doing something. In fact, you saw it well enough. You felt that interaction well enough that you were able to tell Wesa how to unlock that power.
Yeah.
Okay. So Nalishli, you're not stupid, and you're watching this little weird interaction going on between these people.
Yeah, but has she seen me yet?
She has.
Oh.
I'm trying to
No, I
One at a
understand.
time.
Yeah. You're trying to get the mundane stuff
yeah.
first. Do you push ahead, or are you gonna wait?
I'll wait. I'll observe.
So, I mean, my father fell?
Yes. As many have.
Where's his body at?
We buried it here in the temple. I can have one of the guards lead you there.
Please.
Okay. And I would just point.
Mistress, this is shocking. I didn't know Lord Watley too. As it came to it, I just assumed he had found a way to survive. He always finds...
This moment of our history has taken the greatest of us. It's... What can we do but move on? Move forward with them in our hearts.
In our Lord?
Great Lord Ocatla has his... I heard he fell. He was defeated.
We have not found his body.
It's true, then. He was defeated in combat? In open combat?
It appears so.
But appearances are deceiving at times, I'm sure. I'm sure he's fine.
It's not
He's
something
recovering.
that we can authenticate yet.
Oh, dear. I understand. Should I give my report now, or should I wait?
First, let me greet the construct.
Greetings again, Ocatla.
Greetings. It is curious to see you here again.
Aye, I feel the same way.
What brings you here?
Oh, I just felt that I had to come back and see how you were faring.
I'm gonna insight that.
Okay, go ahead.
It was just in the neighborhood.
Nilishly, this is very unusual for Nilishly. Nilishly, make a
I
deception.
got a 1. Don't even worry about it.
I want to see. I want to see what she rolls.
With plus what?
I think your charisma is +2
Oh yeah, no, actually my charisma's higher than other things.
at the bottom, very bottom.
That's +3, 13.
Oh, +3. Okay. So 13. Yeah, you're not sure. There's a lot going on.
I mean, I guess I would want to like understand. Like, did she come here for a reason? I'd be wanting to know.
Okay, make it a tight check.
Same here.
This is the, okay. Go do it.
Sorry, guys.
No, this is how it
19.
works. 19.
Oh, that's rolling really good.
But
24.
both of you find that statement unconvincing.
I'm not gonna say anything.
Okay. No, of course not. Yeah. Go. Keep going.
Is there something we can do for you? Because I feel you are gracing us here for some reason, and I believe Tezcatli herself has sent you.
I believe so.
What can we do? The city is in a dire situation, but you are meant to be honored.
Thank you,
Holly
Ocatla.
slips her fingers in with yours if you allow it.
Sorry.
Well, may I ask, on our last meeting, there was a bag. Did you do anything with that bag or find that bag on the floor? It was right here at the pyramid, and we met other burglars who were trying to vandalize this great building.
So much has been going on. I don't know about that bag.
I'm gonna perception check that.
Okay. Make an insight
It's
roll.
just a rally of perception
No.
checks.
This is how it goes. This is how it goes.
18.
25.
What the heck? Like, that's like illegal. Like, to roll that many, like, 20s.
Your senses are tuned, and you just keep coming. This woman is incredibly polished. She's incredibly hard to read. It's like looking at a mirror, and she reflects back to you whatever she thinks you want to see.
Okay. Well, since I have been brought back here again, I may volunteer my services for whatever you need, Ocatla.
And she just bows profusely. Thank you so very much. I know that everyone here is so grateful for that service. And she would like call some guards to
They come instantly. Yeah.
please prepare this powerful warrior, correct? I'd look at you Nilishly. You're a warrior, aren't you?
I kind of drop Winter's Harvest down.
Oh, you don't have Winter's Harvest.
Oh, it's not with me?
Yeah.
No,
you never have it when you
no.
go back. Yeah.
All right, I'm going to say,
Your other blade that you have.
yeah, I do have another blade, actually.
Yeah.
No, but I'm going to say, in my time, I am a warrior, yes.
Please prepare this warrior.
Mistress Lenali says, is it, if we find, I don't know what is correct here, if we find Daybreak, if we find Great Lord Ocatla's weapon, is this champion of the Dread Mother, is that, should we give Daybreak to her? Or is that wrong?
I don't know if that instrument suits her composition.
Of course, if it was a foolish idea, I would draw it.
What is this Daybreak weapon?
It's like a sword, right?
It was his Makwi, so it's
Right.
the flat club with the jagged obsidian, but his every time it hit something, it produced a terrific roar of thunder, and it basically, it's basically like your shatter spell, but every time he hits somebody, he's shattering them as well with it.
Of course, I would allow you to investigate it as his cousin. I just wonder if it would suit you, but let's keep our eye out for it. That is precious.
Nilishly, who's unused to deception.
No, it's very weird. Yeah.
She's unused to deception. However, since the first meeting, there's been things that have been misplaced or out of turn. And I think at this point, what's happening is Nilishly is listening very intently to everything she is saying. And she's also, probably for the first time in her life, listening for deceit.
Okay. For the first time, first time in her life. Wow, Nilishly's growing up.
Nice.
Yeah. And I want to add, when I turn away, like the next thing I want to do, I'm like pretty infuriated about being here again, actually, and leaving
That battle. No, I mean,
like leaving in the middle of a really big battle. Like I'm kind of
you have
pissed off
shit to
about
do.
it.
Yeah.
Moment.
And so I am going to step away after I finish speaking with her, and I am going to close my eyes and pray to Dread Mother, and I'm going to ask, what am I doing here?
So, a couple things happen. First, as people who are keenly attuned to the gods, actually even more than the modern Yearlet are, all of you feel like, if there were any doubts before, you all feel a awe-inducing presence in the room, not directed at you, but you can feel her calling in. You step away, but it's clear she's in prayer. And you can feel her calling in, because I mean, you can literally channel that and push it out through you if you have to, you know. So you feel that, and I'm gonna make you roll on this. On this day, go ahead and roll and see.
On this day.
On this day,
What am I rolling for?
maybe religion.
15.
Okay. You see, yeah, that'd be high enough. You see two things. For some reason, you have this compulsion to turn and look over your shoulder. You see the talon of Tezcatli, which is at Ocatla's side. So that's the blade of Winter's Harvest. And you can see the shadows. You can see shadows. Only you can see this. But you can see shadows wreathing Ocatla's hands. And you know this is the woman. You believe strongly this is the woman who will forge Winter's Harvest. Probably in the near future. And the other thing that pops into your head is you see a plaza of this like grand, essentially fantasy Aztec, but this grand Yearlet architecture. And the plaza is ruined. And for some reason, or somehow, not some reason, but for somehow, Allie, you're able to kind of like, the camera pans through the levels of rubble, and you see Ocatla's still form in that plaza, buried under all of this rubble.
Still form.
Still form.
Not moving, yeah, but it does not look. He looks like damaged, but he's not like decapitated or anything. He still looks
Still
Intact.
he's still largely intact. As far like it's just it's quick. It's just like maybe a second or two, you know, that you get it. But you're like, and you kind of like the hairs on the back of your head. This has never happened to you before. Like the hairs on the back of your head stand up, and you're like, you think you know where that plaza is. So
okay. I like flashback,
yeah.
and I'm gonna turn back around.
I mean, they're probably looking at you.
Yeah.
I'm actually bowing.
I feel like, I am too.
Okay.
This presence.
Okay,
You guys have
Lenali.
Tezcatli.
Yeah, Lenali dropped down.
Yeah,
I've already
Lenali
been
dropped
bowing for a
down.
while.
Actually, probably to both knees.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
And you see, she's taken to knock, and she's like protectively holding it. Even though he's bigger than her, she's like protectively holding him like he's a child. One of the things, by the way, she's a particular kind. She's a killer, so she's Lenali's superhumanly strong for her build. She's like as strong as Titus is, and she's 5'5" and 130 pounds. Cool. So she's she has the human in here, and and you turn around, and I think you make the connection.
to Ocatla.
The fact that you were invoking the Dread Mother's presence to such a literal degree in this room.
Yeah. So is everyone kind of like in awe bowing right now?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm going to use that to my advantage.
I'm still looking, but yes.
Okay.
I'm bowed.
I'll look at you a little longer if you're not in as much
I'd be looking
deference.
too. I mean,
I mean, I'm bowed low, but my eyes are up.
Yeah, and Ocatla is the picture of grace. She has her hands over her heart, as is appropriate for a priestess of the gods, and
I'm going to look back at everyone, and I'm going to say, Ocatla, where's the plaza?
We have many plazas.
How about the one with Ocatla?
What do you mean?
Is there or is there not a plaza with Ocatla in it?
I wouldn't know, would I? Or would I?
Not yet. As you think about it, you think about the size of it, some of the symbols that are there. You might be able to find it.
I personally?
Have you seen him? Is that what you just saw?
I don't know what I just saw.
It sounds like you do, though. That was a very specific question.
I'll tell you, Ocatla, what I did just see was that interesting talon in your hand.
Isn't it so beautiful?
It is. Where did you find it?
This is one of the most important artifacts our people protect.
Have you noticed it has any special abilities?
It can cut through pretty much anything. Do you know it?
As if from a dream.
Well, that is magnificent.
As she's talking, I'm going to reflect on the symbols that I saw in the plaza.
In the plaza. Okay.
And when I think about it, do I think I could take myself there? Or do I feel that I need her help to direct me?
You can see like the order of the gods, the way that they're displayed. You can see some of the children's festival hangings that are in this particular plaza. So you can see the plaza pretty well, like what's left of it.
Yeah.
But you think you need help to find it inside the city. But it's close by. You might even have passed it, but you were just so focused on the pyramid, you weren't really worried about the stuff outside.
Ocatla, I'd like to speak to you alone.
I'd be honored. And I would just bow to Tanaka. I realize that we haven't spoken. I don't know if he's looking at me, but I would still.
So just
He's cowering, yeah.
And please, around this corner. And I would just take her.
Mistress, are we dismissed?
Aye.
Be careful.
And you too. I look forward to chatting with you soon.
I thank the Lord of the Dawn Star sincerely for your safety when so many others have fallen.
And yours too.
And she reaches out and she puts her hand over your heart. I mean, you've known her, you raised her.
Wait, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So the two of you step away, and she says, "Tanaka, I need to ask you a question, but not here. Let's go."
I'd like to be as far away from this place as possible.
What's happening with me?
Okay. What do you? Your betters seem to have stepped off, at least for the moment.
1 second here. He starts playing around with her. She's basically gonna buy some time to see if she can hear a little bit before
Your father just died.
she knows.
Yeah.
Before she goes off and finds.
On the other hand, I'm just going to do casually walking around until I can find the shadow to slip in and maybe just go up to, if they're going around the corner like you said, around over here, just maybe put my back against the side that they
I mean,
can't see.
she's not stupid.
These people.
I'm not,
So
no.
Azel has nodded off. He basically, the grandfather of your old coterie basically gave you just a nod, and he was so weak though.
Maybe I'm taking care of him. I'm kind of
I mean,
applying medicine.
somebody needs to, yeah.
So I'll do that first, and while I'm listening.
You're taking care of him.
Right,
He looks exhausted. He looks gray. He looks vulnerable.
I would give him a knowing nod as well. Like, I see what you've been through.
And he murmurs some apology for taking so long to resurface.
None at all.
And
Azel, let me.
as we're going toward intermission, let me get a few rolls and we'll set the table on the backside. So let me get a perception roll from you, stealth roll from you. I assume you're going to try to make a perception roll too to see if people are following you. Perception roll, and then your DC will be higher, but make a perception roll as well.
It's going to be Mother's blessing.
Mother's blessing. Okay, you're totally focused on Ocatla then. You don't.
Let's roll pretty damn good.
What did he roll?
24 total.
God, dog.
Oh, 19.
She's 17.
17?
23.
Always beating you.
23? Okay.
Perception's not that high either.
You're far enough away that even with that roll, you're not catching the entire. You're like bits and pieces, kind of bounced around the corner. You are careful and you're looking around. Now, are you content with bits and pieces, or do you want to have to make a second roll to see if you can get like right up there?
Content with bits and pieces for now.
Okay.
Yeah. There's a little bit of pushing, but I don't want to push too much. So,
Smart.
yeah.
Okay.
Do I see him in the area or not?
What did you get on your perception?
24.
24.
I got a 23.
You got a 23. So you see him, even though he's expertly maneuvered himself into some shadowy crevices.
I'm just going to totally ignore that.
You just ignore him. Okay.
Just make note of it.
But you note that he's also eavesdropping. Okay.
To Nosferatu again.
And your Lenali pulls you off, and she says, I had a lot of time to think out there, Tanakh, but it just occurs to me, and she's like, so you guys are kind of like in the pyramid, but you're not in the catacombs anymore, and she's pulled you way off to the side. And he's like, I don't know why, but I don't think it could have happened the way that my mistress just said. And I know because I helped her make the Green Doom attacked with poison, yes? I mean, they always do. And I helped her make a necklace that's in Oxcon that's proof against that. And I know Great Lord Ocatla had it. It wasn't just me being a child. He should have been able to defeat the Green Doom. If that's the Green Doom's particular most potent weapon. I don't understand. But I don't know if I should. You understand discretion. I know you do. Should I consult with her about that, or should I just let that go? Perhaps it was damaged in the combat.
Something I need to tell you.
All right, and we'll do that on the other side of the intermission. All right, friends. Well, a little bit of family reunion, fun for everyone, and we'll see you on the backside of this.
See you in a few.
See you in 15.
See you in a few. Oh, how's it?
Greetings, weary travelers, and welcome to Constructed Chaos, a channel dedicated to all things D&D, including live play streams and podcasts, 3D printing, painting, crafting, homebrew content, and guides for players and dungeon masters alike. Join our Discord for even more special benefits, announcements, and free downloadable content. And until next time, go out there and make some chaos.
We lift our voice to greet the rising sun. Your splendorous touch burns away the dark. With a soft golden hue, your world is made anew. We follow the path you've laid.
And welcome back, faraway friends. Yay! Defiant Chaos, thank you so much for the $20.
You're cool.
We love that.
Awesome.
And I hear tale that he asked, is Ocatla evil?
Really good question.
That is a good question.
Misunderstood.
She's not wearing her T-shirt today, though.
I think she's just misunderstood.
I really do.
It's all about the destiny, right?
Of course you
I mean, it's the clear path forward.
If it's
Perspective.
easy, then it
Then
must be so, right?
it must be so. All right,
Like faded almost.
Yeah.
we ready to jump back in?
Yeah, let's do
All right,
it,
Candle
guys.
and Tails.
Candle of Tales.
So much better without the high pitch on the end.
Ooh, you hear that, Tony?
Ooh, that is shots fired. That is shots fired, man. Okay, that's your husband. Come on now.
that's true.
Sorry, you're betrothed. You're betrothed. That's your betrothed. I was gonna surprise y'all at that, but I think it's funny enough to say. Okay. So, Lanali has you, and
Right.
she looks around. She puts her finger up, and she kind of crouches down, and even prowls around a bit in that animalistic way. And actually, ironically enough, she's much closer to Watley than she is to her mistress and mentor, Ocatla, in terms of abilities. Although she's more of an even split between city and country. Sound familiar, Corey? Mm-hmm. And she says, all right, for this moment, we can talk.
She killed him. No, not Zapilli. She said he went mad. That he was possessed by a demon or succumbed to... I don't know. Said that
That her own, you're saying her own brother was possessed by a demon? My mistress's brother. The Oracle of Keodal.
she had no choice but to cut off his head. At the shrine. When they were preparing the defense of the city.
In the wrong direction. But Zapilli said, no. Zapilli said it was most likely to come, that was his choice as well. It was most likely
dreaming of it.
come from the swamp. Remember?
Oh, I know. And maybe that was the demon that
I bled for
cast
those.
his vision aside.
I bled for those artifacts too. It wasn't just the senior members of the coterie. I almost died getting that talon that's on the side of my mistress's hip now.
And it was all consuming. It was all that he could. But she just.
Why are you making these wild accusations, Tanakh?
She told me.
She
I
told.
accused nothing.
She told you?
Yes. But it's like you say, it just. I believe. I was stricken by grief. But of course I want to believe. I have to believe, but. Why would she have to cut off his head?
What I was going to tell you and what I came to clarity about this last turn of the seasons is that as much as, no, I shouldn't even say it that way. I owe Mistress Ocatla everything. She found me as a nothing. I was literally starving on the streets, scavenging rotted fish on the docks. You understand this? She's one of the most beautiful women in the city. She's brilliant. She's powerful. She also is alone. I don't want to be alone. And I realized, I know I'm only... Everything I've been through, I'm not a little girl anymore, Tanakh, and I know that you still might see me that way. You're extraordinary, and the way that you make things and the way that you express things, and there's been listening to your music, and it's been so healing, so soothing. It has settled my own inner waters. And
Why are you saying this?
Because I realized that the thought of coming back and all of this death and destruction, and the fact that you would die without me ever telling you this, it was unbearable. And so I have to tell you this now. And I have no idea. Let me finish. I have no idea if you're going to laugh at me or if you don't. I don't know. But okay, I'm not going to babble. There, I've said it.
I'm sorry. I wasn't expecting that.
Yeah, well, that's because you're dumb. I've only been thinking about you for, I don't know. Any road. Well, if my mistress said it was a demon, then it was a demon. You know the wild things we've seen.
Of course.
Should I go and ask her about what happened with the Oxcon, though? I tested it myself. Even her poison was useless against me. And maybe it just got overpowered. Maybe it just got overpowered by the Green Dooms, like the sheer volume of the poison.
You have doubt. Dumb I may be, but you wouldn't be asking my opinion if you weren't unsure. Why? Why do you hesitate?
My mistress is my savior. Watley was also my mentor, though. I've been trained to investigate.
Then why
if something
do you
smells
feel compunction about seeking truth from this person who you trust beyond anything? No?
Because she's the leader of the city right now during a time of existential crisis, Tanakh. I don't know if I even have the right to ask her about these things and to put one more burden on her plate, let alone if it's taken, misconstrued the wrong... You know, people are always listening.
It's around.
Not in this moment, but probably I can't really guarantee it for more than a flicker or two more because people are going to come in and out all the time. And even I can miss somebody.
So then...
You're one of the wisest people I know. What do you think I should do? Wait?
And watch. And listen. There is an inconsistency that you mentioned. It couldn't have happened that way. Those were your words.
The weave is wrong. But maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe, like I said, maybe the Oxcon broke. The enchantment wasn't enough.
And maybe illumination will reveal itself. Maybe the clouds will part on their own.
Maybe so. You're right. It's probably nothing. It would probably just smash during the combat.
But if it's true that Tezcatli's champion can find Ocatla, maybe...
Who were we to doubt her? You felt the presence. That has to be the Dread Mother.
Of course. Maybe that will provide an answer.
This is not her age, but she is still one of the three.
Maybe if we can see if it was removed from his neck or was shattered.
See, that's what I was coming to you for. Of course. If we can find what's become of him, then yes, of course, there'll be fragments embedded. Even his skin wasn't absolutely invulnerable. There'll be some trace of the Oxcon. Yes, you're right. Okay. If they haven't left yet, I'll take the avatar myself.
Can you get me out of here first? I don't think he's ever been inside.
No. Oh, no. Lady Ocatla said she's suspended the execution orders for anybody, for the commoners inside.
Don't know the way.
Oh, right. Come on. And so these hands that could twist you like putty, just gently take yours and take you outside. All right. Nolishly. Okay, so the two of you were going to have a conversation. Oh, I'm sorry, Randy. You're right.
There's one point I'd like to make about this.
Okay, quick.
I have the observant feat, which allows me to lip read. If I can get far enough away where I can just watch them,
You would have that. No, that is a good point. You would have to go a little bit deeper. I'll lower the DC because of that. You'd have to go a little bit deeper though, and you.
I'll stay where I'm at.
You risk spotting.
Yeah, I'll stay where I'm at.
Right now, you're just listening to echoes, echoes down the hallway. Okay. So, remember I mentioned the desertions. So I need you to make a persuasion check to see how convincing you've been to foment desertion. So this is the guy who's actually been fomenting the desertion.
Persuasion is 19.
19 total? Okay. It's a problem.
What's the problem?
The desertion.
Versions.
So he's been going as his alternate identity, essentially. And he's been promoting desertion and talking about it's a lost
He
cause.
has.
Yes, ma'am.
Someone has.
Someone has.
Your character doesn't know that, but yes.
Someone does. It's so weird. I know. That's why we have to kill them all right now.
That's right.
He'll be the one to go do it.
That's yes, of course.
Everyone is too sneaky.
So I know. Where's the trust?
Where's
in
the
these
trust?
relationships?
Loyalty.
Okay, so you pull Ocatla aside, and you are ostensibly in private.
Or where are we right now?
You're deep into the catacombs now of the tombs.
It's dark.
It's dark. I'm going to say that you lit a torch,
course.
down here, and yeah.
And are we in some kind of hallway or room?
I would say like think Winterfell, Game of Thrones, kind of that long catacomb, and you went like way down, and you see generations of priests and priestesses and nobility buried down here. Watley is buried down here, much closer to the present area, but yeah.
Okay.
So you're going back hundreds of years.
Okay.
As you strolled down there.
We're gonna as we're strolling, at like a leisurely pace.
Sure.
I'm going to look around the room, and there's like kind of an air of calmness, maybe a little bit of nonchalance, and
You feel it. These are your people. I mean, this is kind of like you have memories of even like snatches of these catacombs and places. Yeah, that's ancestral memory.
Okay. Ocatla, since we last met, I've been thinking of you. Your extraordinary power has kept me intrigued. But if I'm to be honest with you, and let me ask, can I be?
Ken?
I have seen things that I don't know if I'm to fully trust. May we trust one another?
I would love that.
And can I do another perception check with that remark?
Yeah, you absolutely can.
And do I?
And you
I mean,
insight. Yeah, sorry, insight.
Sorry.
20 crit.
Oh, wow. Well, it sucks because it's a 29, which is like insane, but I got 29.
You still even because ironically enough, even though you're made of the Dread Mother, you were just made to experience the world as it is. You still can't read her, but your intuition tells you like there is a lot of weirdness here in the air. But there's nothing concrete yet that you've been able to pin on her.
She has a magic item or something.
And she does still have the headdress. She does still have the headdress of Talak, and then she has the talon at her side.
Can I sense anything coming from the headdress?
You can feel like there is a slight wisp of Talak's presence. But of the three major gods of the Urilit, he's actually the one that you're the least. You got a little bit more familiar because you were on the waters. Remember, you were like trying to commune with the waters, but you realize you don't know him as well, and maybe you should remedy that. He is the god of knowledge and nurturing and agriculture, and rain as well.
Okay. Yes, I feel we are meant to trust each other, but I think that requires honesty from both of us.
I'm so curious what you mean.
Well, First, I'm curious the fortune that befell your brother.
She just like looks at the ground. Very terrible. I'd appreciate if we don't keep talking about that.
Yes, it looks as if it pains you deeply. And then I'm going to continue strolling.
Okay.
I think I bring it up because on the last time we met, your brother had just passed. And it was under interesting circumstances. And now I find myself here again, and I don't know who to trust.
Are you questioning me?
I think rather I'm questioning the circumstances.
It is quite an auspicious time for you to be here, with so much chaos. And I so appreciate your presence here.
Bow my head.
I know you saw something in your vision. Would you be willing to tell me what you saw?
We could play a game. A truth for a truth.
What truth do you want to know?
The truth I want to know is, what do you intend now to do with this great city?
Oh, I intend to bring it together. There is so much good here.
Your turn.
What did you see of our great Ocatla?
I didn't see clearly, but I did see a flash of insight into the plaza that Ocatla's body is in.
You know where his body is?
I think I have some approximation.
This is great news. She clutches her heart. We must go.
Continue strolling.
Can I tell from how she's delivering that whether or not it seems meaningful or not, from what I'm hearing?
It's too far.
Okay. I figured as much. But...
Another truth. When you killed your brother,
Excuse me?
what possessed you?
Dear Construct, I know that you are to be honored here, but that is not acceptable.
Are we still giving each other truths?
It is not acceptable.
So, you do not deny or confirm it?
I told you what happened.
Can you refresh my memory?
I don't like the way this conversation is going, and I think it's time for you to understand your place.
And what is that to you, Ocatla?
This is a tragic moment in our history, and you're coming here accusing me of things that you have no evidence of.
Say I were to have evidence from Dread Mother herself.
I would love to know more.
The communion I have with Dread Mother is given to me directly. It is a power and a line that is connected into my soul. And her truth is my truth.
And what has she shared with you about my brother?
Continue strolling. She hasn't been explicit. However, I have seen images. And I am left to piece them together. And I can only do that if I have truth. And if I can be perfectly plain with you. You remind me of a friend in my own time. I want to help you. But to help you, I need to know what your plan is.
I'm so very confused by your question. What other plan would I have but to bring this destroyed city together?
Maybe it's not so much the plans that you do have, but rather the plans that you made.
I'm just so confused by your questions.
I'm going to keep strolling, and I'm going to shift gears.
You're keeping pace with her? Okay.
The talon in your hand.
Aye.
It seems as if you have an affinity with it.
It's true. And she's genuinely, like, curious. You can tell she's like, there's something very special about it. And I feel really honored to be so intimate with it. You seem to know it.
I do know him.
Him. Say more.
And that the way she says it is exactly how Wesa would say that. Say more, because I think she's even said that on camera.
Yeah.
That was exactly what you said.
Yeah. Okay. And as I keep walking, and we're still like we haven't at the end of this category.
Yeah, you're about to hit the end of this, but you could branch. There's side branches. You could get even deeper, and then they couldn't hear you anymore.
Okay.
Yeah.
We're wherever we go. I'm going to keep walking and
Okay.
stroll down one of the passages.
Okay. You tell me when you turn back around. Yeah. Okay. At this point, you guys lose them, but something else is happening upstairs. But go ahead and finish the convo.
Yes, the talon that you now possess, in my time becomes, for lack of a better word, a dear friend to me.
And she just breaks out in a smile. That is just the most beautiful news. And like genuine tears fill her eyes. Like she feels the lineage, the legacy of what she has with her.
Because you rolled a natural 20, I know you still beat her, but because you rolled a natural 20, there's a moment where that's the first time that you can actually feel her, Allie.
She's kind of like let down her guard.
Like when the tears come and she's talking about a sacred item, an artifact of the culture, and an icon of the culture as well.
Okay.
And then it goes back to
And
being...
then it goes to her,
just to-
which is like Tezcatli's construct. Just amazing.
Yeah. I can see that it has the same effect on you as it does on me, in my time, in my place.
Oh, please tell me, how does it affect you?
Well, we call it winter's harvest. At least that is the name that was given to it.
I feel chills.
In my time, in my place, we are in battle. And winter's harvest is a destroyer of sorts.
I understand.
How have you found it as just a talent and not a weapon?
I guess I have experienced it as a way to commune with Tezcatli more than something in battle. You see, I don't wield weapons often. I'm more devoted to my priestess work.
Except a clear brother.
The weapons that you wield, are they of a different kind?
Well, you see, I have given everything I can to my city. I have woven all kinds of sacred spaces together. I have performed many rituals. I have bled, truly bled, for so much here. And that power is sacred. I'm sure you understand.
I do. Albeit maybe in a different way. I'm still very young in the time that I come from.
Right, I heard something wild, as if you were only 2 winters old.
That's correct. A very knowledgeable 2-year-old.
Of course.
Hi. My question for you, Ocatla, is now that you have the talon, the headdress, and you desire to build the city back up, how will you do it?
I must say, it is not for my mind to tell you. I am communing, I am listening, I am doing things one step at a time. And I know that I've been bestowed this responsibility because it is mine to wield. And whatever help you provide, we will honor that. That will be written. I'm so grateful. I feel, again, the gods have brought you here in this pivotal moment to help.
Speaking of the gods, do you desire to know Dread Mother deeper?
Oh, I would love that.
I'm going to, in the darkness of this catacomb, make a prayer.
Okay. You start to feel what is second nature to you. You begin to feel this rising up through you. It is a little different than in your time because this is the end of one age and the beginning of another, whereas in your time it's firmly established. So you have to be a little bit more mindful, a little bit more patient, but of course, you spoke truly. It is interwoven in your soul. And as you start to feel that come out, you, Ocatla, feel now. You felt you were a bystander before. You were a witness before. This time, you're a participant, and you begin to understand her as the void, as not the opposite of light, as you have been taught, but as the cessation, as respite. Beautiful beyond the telling. And then you hear, Domina! Domina! All right. So, yes, and you're shocked out of this moment. Backing up a bit, Etzli, you see, you are staying with Azel. Azel, his head kind of snaps up.
You okay? So,
Lenali, are you still here? And you had just finished your conversation. I am. We are. Okay, stay with me. He says, someone who shouldn't be here has entered. How do you... Oh, right. Okay. Girl, with me.
of course.
And she says, stay behind me. She turns around. Azel, can you... I can hardly stand. Fuck.
So pulls out her little dagger.
Okay.
Whatever she has.
And she...
Can I use it? Just use this.
If you have to. And you see a tall, kind of thin, well-formed man. He looks foreign, though, and he looks... I'll just tell you, he looks Belai. Features the weird tinge of umber in his hair. As he approaches, he's already gotten past the guards that were out there, but to be fair, there's a lot of confusion and there are gaps in the security still.
It's Belai.
And he says, Ave, citizens. I come here seeking the Lady Ocatla. I bear greetings from Orin the Undying. Well, I should wait until I see the lady herself, but it's quite pressing business.
You know who Orin the Undying is?
No, that's a new one. And Lenali looks at you. Okay. She says she's indisposed right now. And I think my master would probably disagree with that, young lady. Lenali stands up. I am Aski Teodal, peasant. You will mind yourself, or you will not leave this pyramid intact. Am I understood, or do you need a demonstration of my ability? T bows to her. I see that you are steeped in the ways of your people, my lady. Apologize. Apology taken. For now, state your business clearly, plainly, and succinctly. Well, I understand that the Lady Ocatla is not wed. My master would like to change that status and to offer his hand in allegiance. Okay, you pop out of nowhere, out of this crevice with your, what was it, 29 or some crap that you had with? Yeah,
that's roughly the truth.
Go ahead. Yeah, go.
That will be a 18.
He's pretty good. You actually don't know.
Okay.
Obviously a trained courtier.
Fair enough.
And he says, I assure you, my master's talents are no less formidable than anyone's in the city. He has simply chosen to, he like keeps on as Lenali's drawing in breath. He has simply chosen to remain incognito for the most part, but now is the moment.
The undying, right?
Now is the moment. So I must insist, even at risk of not leaving this pyramid whole, I must insist on seeing this lady of yours, this remarkable lady of yours. I understand she is now in power.
You must insist, do you?
On behalf of my master.
On behalf of your master, of course. Lenali, I believe you had something to say.
She looks at him. Your name? Braz, mistress. Don't call me mistress. Domina will suffice. Are you serious, though? You're coming to the seat of her power at a moment like this, and he says, forgive me. He takes a step back. My master said that perhaps you would need a demonstration of his abilities. May I? And Lenali says, absolutely not. This is a place of mourning. And he takes some pouch of his and he tosses it on the ground. Okay, we may be in combat rounds. Randy, what's your initiative? Dex rank, you moving out 20?
I am moving at 18 dex.
18? Okay. Lenali's faster. As soon as he does that, yeah. Yeah, okay. She staples him. And the bag starts agitating, and you see gas beginning to come out of this bag.
With my speed,
Yeah.
Is it still in the air? Like, did you throw it and it was just moving that fast that it's actually still up in the air?
I'll say yes.
May I throw a dagger at it to knock it away from us into a wall?
Yeah, roll to hit.
Right. Oh, no, I got a natural 1.
Okay, so
Again.
it flies. This gas, this kind of sickly green gas goes everywhere. Make con saves. The people who are there. So
I just say I was backing up.
you did. Hold off on that then.
16.
16. Okay. How'd you knock?
9.
Okay.
Oh, no,
I'm sorry, 17.
17. He starts choking and gagging, and Lenali turns, snatches him, and makes a, well, it's not even a decision, it's just on instinct. She grabs you and she starts running out of the gas immediately. You hold your breath, and you feel your chosen essence rising up. You stepped back, and fortunately you stepped just far enough that you weren't caught in the initial blast. I still want you to make a con check to
Where's
see
the zeal at?
to see on the edges. Oh god, he got hit too. You're right.
Con check?
Yeah. Basically, to see if you're coughing, you're not going to be quote unquote poisoned.
So I have to beat my con, or
What?
I rolled 11.
You got 11. Okay. And then what's your con? 14. I
My
think.
con's 14.
Yeah. So 13. Okay. 13 total. That for where you were at, that's enough. So you're like coughing, but it doesn't
So
actually
it's plus 3, right? 14?
doesn't actually 2.
2, right.
Okay. And Izel, like he had, kind of been half in and half out. When that all erupted, his hand comes up and he draws on some pretty deep reserves, and there's like a fragmenting gold around his head. So it's not like a nice even thing. It's almost like the gold shattering as he's pulling it out. Oh, bring him back! And you see that as the gold interfaces with the sickly green, the green just comes down, like just drops and solidifies, and it's a bunch of dust now. So as that's happening, you hear screams, Domina! Domina!
I apologize. And I just start to walk. We must go.
You walking or running?
I hastily.
A hasty walk. Okay, but
follow her.
but still a serene.
Yes, I'm a lady.
Okay. Lenali says, Isel, what are you doing? As he brings you back, and Isel looks at you. For those who are with him, make which is pretty much everybody, make a perception check.
Can I forego my perception check for a different action? Because I'm not actually looking at him right now.
You can.
Great. I'm moving myself to a corner area where they walked around. So I'm sure that she's running first.
Oh, like into the tomb.
As soon as she runs past, I'm going to sneak back, like go right behind her and hold a finger up for you.
Do you pause?
Do I? Can I perception check him?
You can, or do you want to see what his intent is?
Yeah. Sorry.
Make an insight.
Insight.
Make
Can
an
I be
insight
open?
roll. You can. So it's just going to be a flat roll.
That's gonna be.
It's a flat roll.
Oh, it's a flat roll.
Yeah.
It's a 5.
5. You're unsure.
I bow, mistress. A word.
Pause there. Okay. Because we're in seconds. Yeah. Okay.
I had 8.
What did you get? 18.
Yeah.
Perception check.
Really? I rolled.
Yeah.
I rolled a 1.
You rolled a 1. Okay. Well, no. You're threat assessing.
Yeah.
You're looking for the threat, whatever the fuck the next stupid thing is.
Yeah.
And you're okay. You may actually be the only person who catches this then. Azel looks, then he looks up, and there's for some reason, Corey, this time for a second time in one day, the hairs on the back of your head stand up. And you can see in his eyes, he's seeing into something very, very far away. And he says, "Oh, that's why I was spared. Come here." And she brings him, "Please do something." And he, do I want to tell you that mechanic? No. Okay.
Secrets.
So you see him, Lord of Light, Lord of the Dawn Star, and it's like blazing in there for a second. It illuminates him, and he's pulling. It looks like he's pulling it out of his heart and out of his body, out of the cells, out of every cell that he has. Revive this one and bring him a new dawn. And all of a sudden, you can breathe. You were basically dead. You can breathe again. Your eyes aren't liquefying. You're not being transformed into a skeleton any longer. And then Azel just kind of.
I could go there.
Okay, you catch him, and he's so small now. Corey, he's so diminished.
There's Azel.
Now. You don't see him breathing.
I will try to
Resuscitate. Okay,
yeah,
go ahead and make a medicine check.
Come on, baby. That's pretty damn good. 19 plus my medicine here, which is 24.
Okay.
Whatever that's worth.
You try. There's no CPR, but you try to aid his breathing. He grabs, and so because of that, because he was just going to die. He grabs you.
What did you see?
He grabs you and he pulls your head down to him. And he says, "You're getting Toby."
Like I can't.
And he whispers into your ear.
Oh my god, I get a whisper.
Oh, yay! I'm so excited.
Only one.
Baby's first whisper.
Snakes all over the place.
Okay.
And she
And that
looks
was about
over at you,
Yeah.
briefly.
And then you feel his soul return to the depths of Amoy, the depths of the Great Lake. You've seen enough death in your time, you know. And so this is one of the greats. This was actually the generation before the coterie.
She breaks out in a tear. Starts weeping. You as well.
Where did that guy go?
He is busy. He's busy bleeding out. And
The guy killed himself.
no, she stapled
Oh,
him.
right,
Yeah.
right.
Yeah. He is determined though. The messenger is determined. and he's trying to hand you one of like a Eurolit type scroll with the bark, where it's the pounded bark and very.
I slap him and take it.
Okay, and your slap pushes him over the edge, and he dies smiling, having fulfilled his mission to Orin the Undying.
Dominic, can you help him? You see Azil right here, like laying in his arms.
He's gone.
You're a great priestess, are you not?
When the soul is gone, it is gone. I'm so sorry. And what is going on? This man came in?
You could feel yourself liquefying and mummifying.
I'm just in shock.
Lenali's like holding him, and she says that thing came in and tried to threw this horrendous powder down, this gas. He started to transform into one of the walking dead, mistress.
Thank God you were here to protect us all. And I see that Azil made his choice.
But
he saved you.
But with why an ASCII teodal. So actually, okay, I'm going to tell you this because you would know this. You've adventured with Azil for many years. In this world, you have a choice, and he's explained this to you. When you resurrect someone, you can basically flip a coin, so it's a straight 50-50 shot, or they're dead, or you can choose to die and ensure the resurrection takes place, as you give them your spark of life, your own life force. So he chose, this revered ASCII teodal chose to resurrect, to your mind, some relative rando. I mean, you know who he is, and he was your best friend's brother, but it's unthinkable that he did that for this creature.
Because you haven't really shared much about Tanakh. Like, does he have any gifts? Does he have, like, what?
He's an extraordinary artist. A drummer and drum maker. That's really about it.
He gave his life for you.
Why?
Don't question it. It's a miracle. It's wonderful.
Can I read that Lenali is...
Yeah, yeah. You don't have to... She's smitten with him. It's open now.
Okay.
He's one of the coterie. Ask you why.
Perhaps there is some beautiful happenings in a union here. Maybe he sees the future.
She blushes.
Oh, I'm gonna be sick.
Okay, yeah, you go off to the side. Okay, Randy, I believe Nilishli stopped long enough for you to try to parlay.
We ain't got much time. But use the avatar of my goddess. I give my allegiance to you during this time. This is a place of vipers, every one of them. Every one of them, including me. But I'm giving you my allegiance. And I give that lightly. We'll talk more when we have more time, if you wish. But I'm on your side, whatever that might be.
Do I see this?
No, this is while
we're talking and doing our stuff, yeah.
You throw aside allegiance to Ocatla so easily.
I give my allegiance to Tezcatli first. She's part of a coterie that I belong to. I'm a second-class citizen to them. I might as well be worth a save for my my chosen abilities, my ASCII Kyoto abilities. I'm just a second citizen to them. However, you're divine. You were brought here for a reason, I know why. But I'd rather give my allegiance to you as her avatar than to a woman I ain't know and barely like.
I will keep that in mind. What is your name?
My name is Anoli.
Anoli.
They call me Shadow Fox. I let them. It's Anoli.
Because you deal in the shadows.
I know what I'm doing there, yes.
How can I know that I can trust you? Someone who turns so easily and is untrustable to others.
Well, that is a good question. That is a good question. I don't really have a good answer for you, but I know that there are things that I found and I've seen here that would make your toes curl. If they could.
Like what?
You feel like you may be in danger of getting discovered now as the chaos
Precious.
winds down.
That's end out there. Find me. If you want to know, I will tell you everything I can and will.
Aye.
No secrets.
Lanali goes over to you.
Well, I was going to actually go over to
To knock. Okay.
knock
And try to help him.
and there's made and get very close to his ear.
Okay, I'm gonna say you're writing off of the same roll. So she gives you some of the Reviva bark.
And
You're
very,
reading. You're reading, and yeah. Okay.
and very softly. I will protect you. As she's administering you.
Okay.
Petite lady. Don't move on, my man.
Right. Okay.
That's funny.
Okay.
Okay, I'm reading this thing, yeah?
You're reading this thing, and essentially, it is a Balai warlord, who, at least that's what he's claiming, is a Balai warlord who claims dominion over the dead.
What does that mean?
It means dominion over the dead.
That means rulership over the dead.
And
Like in the afterlife or in their bodies? Like, what do you...
well, he just tried to mummify. He just tried to mummify some of your resources in here.
Okay.
And he is called Orin the Undying.
Orin.
Yeah, Orin, Orin. Orin the Undying. And he is offering you. He says it is high time that a woman of such beauty and power be wed, and who better in all the world than himself, and that he can help you rise from the chaos. Like a city that rises from the grave. He has helped so many others, and that he will expect your acquiescence. At high sun tomorrow. That he will be coming in to. He'll be coming in for the ceremony, and the Balai and the Uralit people will be joined.
Does she get a sense that this is a threat?
I mean,
Yeah.
it's. So to put this in a little bit of context, it's like that sounds crazy to like a modern audience. In this world at this time, like those kinds of alliances are definitely a thing, but he's being and if he is Asciteodal, okay, but he is still being enormously presumptuous, and you're still head of the most important city in this region of the world.
Right. But do I get the sense that like he's kind of saying like if you like the undertone is if you don't do this,
There's a warlord isn't going to tell you that about your acquiescence without expecting your acquiescence.
and if I'm correct, I see these beings as far, far, far below.
They're scavengers.
Yeah.
They're vultures. So I mean, that's like how you've always encountered them as. You do know that there is a significant amount of them massing on the east, though. Right now.
Her hand starts to grip the paper in fury.
Okay. You can feel the rough bark. Even the bark, even though they tried to copy their betters and pound the bark, you can feel the roughness and the sloppiness of the job as your fingernail punctures through some of the bark.
Disgusting.
It's like your newest word.
Linoli,
Ma'am,
I need to talk to you.
of course. Are we secure? She looks at the court at the dead man. Looks at Tanakh. Are we secure?
Guards,
Mistress.
how did this person come in here?
He came under false pretenses, Domina.
Unbelievable. If you cannot guard us well in this very vulnerable time, then you must be dismissed. Can you?
We will redouble our efforts, Domina. No one in or out.
No one in or out.
Yes, ma'am.
Now we are secure.
How? Is he like wow? During that tone, was he like hiding something, or was he honest about?
He just seems terrified.
Okay.
Holy shit.
He seems terrified of getting the direct attention of the head of the city. Okay.
Like he didn't purposely allow them in. That's what I'm trying to
As far as he may not have, but if somebody was really smart, that they're not going to be the face that goes up to her. Right. You know those games. So just to make sure that we get to a certain point, I'm going to say that there's some cleanup. There's some cleanup there. You recover as much as you're going to. I mean, you've just had this, your face feels dry. You can feel it in your throat. You have this hitch in your throat that's just not going away. Like you, because there's like this is a small part of your throat that got zombified that didn't turn back, so that's going to have to slough off naturally.
At some point, I want to ask and talk to him privately. I mean, at the right moment.
Okay.
Not here, but it would depend how fast you're doing this. The other thing is I want to go visit my father's tomb, obviously.
Yeah.
And this is weird, maybe, but what is the religious aspects around, like, I'm a very curious cat. And I may be willing, based on religious and other reasons, actually see what damage my father took, if need be, to kind of investigate and understand maybe what happened.
Once events overtake you, if you're willing to kind of linger behind, you're probably not going to be challenged because Ocatla's got so many things to deal with right now.
Never ends.
And so give me a deception check, Corey, to see if you can just kind of blend into the scenery and linger.
That will be a 19.
Your luck holds. Okay.
Girl.
Okay. No, she's extremely accomplished. She's just not chosen. So she got overlooked. Okay. You managed the trick of just looking like you belong there. And the guards are in such a panic over, like, you're going to get us fucking executed. And they're running around. And because they already saw you inside, they think you belong.
Right.
And they're just running around. So, if we can get to it, we will. But you successfully, just make a note, you successfully slip in. And then finally, either we do it offline or not, Corey, you'll make a medicine check and you see him. You do find him.
Okay.
Ocatla was telling that much truth. And
right. He's been buried there.
You get directed to where she told you. Okay. Of course.
Of course you were.
So
Every bit of it was the truth.
And then, Nalishli, you eventually tell them about this plaza, yes? Or you eventually tell somebody else other than her about the plaza, like, we need to go? Okay. Okay.
I want to go there.
So I'm going to say that Lanali is leading the way, unless you pick somebody else. Oh, no, you wanted to talk to her. Okay. Okay, you pull her aside. And are you going deep back into the catacombs, or is this just a quick...
Just a quick.
Quick aside. Okay. Mistress.
This filth asked me for my hand.
Outrageous. They're scavengers, they're vultures.
Completely outrageous.
But
But I know that they are adding a number.
In the east, yes. I've heard as well.
I think it is a good time for us to give them a real message. I will go. I will present myself. But it'll be an opportunity for us to really get them away. Do you understand?
I do. Do we want to invite him in here? I know it's disgusting, and please forgive me for saying such a blasphemous thing, but I think that Lord Coatla would understand, given everything that's happened. And if he comes here, we have many advantages.
I don't think he can be here in the tombs.
Perhaps outside?
Somewhere where we have full provision. But I don't want him near our dead.
I will plan for it.
Please.
We have a day?
Tomorrow.
At
Dawn?
high sun.
High sun.
At high sun. Very little time, but enough. I can do it.
Thank you. This is of utmost priority.
I understand. You're magnificent, and you're going to be the salvation of our people. I know that in my heart now. I've always known that about you, but now I know it, and I see it. Thank you for everything you're doing.
Remember that it is in you too.
As you've taught me, as you've trained me, as Watley did as well. I need to pay my respects to him soon.
Yes.
All right. Do you want me to give my report as we walk?
Yes.
Avatar, may I have the honor of guiding you?
Me.
to where your vision was. This is assuming you had said something to them, to where you believe that our leader Ocatla may be buried.
Do you know the way?
I think there are only two plazas that you might have seen on the way here, and if he's buried under that much rubble, the smaller one wouldn't generate that much. So I think I have a good idea. Yes, it's a good guess.
Ocatla?
Of course I'm coming.
Will you know it on sight, Avatar?
Aye, I will.
Then please, let's go. It's important that we be reunited with our leader, even if it's... And she leaves the rest unsaid, and then keeps going. And kind of formally, as you're walking, are you keeping up, or are you staying behind with
Arg.
or do you want to run away?
This seems like important business. I'm nobody.
Okay, so you run away.
Yeah,
Okay.
I don't think I...
Okay, this is your time. This is your time to nap out.
Try to think.
Or you can stay with her.
Sure.
Okay, you stay with her. Are you following this entourage to the...
I want to see what's going on.
Are you leaving? Okay. All right. She says, kind of formally, Domina, this is my report. We set out with fourscore men and 2 women, 2 nobles. We arrived safely. There were many other... I will skip many of the details. I do have a written report, and I will submit it to you. However, the importance is this. We found land that is clean and... Oh, something... I'm sorry, guys. I should have thrown this in there earlier, but I'm just going to have her report it as fact. As you well know, the water supply here in Kofi is tenuous at best. That beast did something to it, and it's becoming more and more difficult every day to find fresh potable water. That would be of no concern for us to the west.
What a blessing.
Just so. However, and this is a big however, people just falling away and giving you obeisance the whole way. She says there was... I don't even know how to describe her. There was a being that was of... She
Say it.
descended. It looked like she formed from the moonlight. And she was tall, and she possessed dazzling beauty. She didn't look like us, though. She had pale skin and hair actually not that far from Great Lord Ocatla's. It was bronze and gold. And she communicated... I don't have a word for it, but she communicated with us somehow without... we could not understand, even our best translators. Perhaps with the headdress of the god of knowledge, you would be able to directly, but I could not. But eventually, she made herself known. I can't comprehend her name. It was a song.
Me wearing the headdress. Might I know?
Ooh. Make a history check with proficiency, or if you already have history, then with expertise.
So double...
Yeah.
Double 4, so +8.
So plus, so it'd be...
Sorry, I don't know this.
Add 10 to it.
Add 10 to it?
Yeah.
Ooh. 18.
This being is... there's just... and that's an extremely high roll. There's just a little bit of knowledge about these beings, but this is not quite unprecedented. And you do know that was always the concern moving to the west, that sometimes these beings would show up made of moonlight. And we parlayed for many... It seemed like, again, I'm just saying it seemed like turns of the wheel, Domina. Like winters had gone by, when in fact, mere moments. It took me so long to understand her. And she made it clear that to the west was a place of great importance, and that we were still too underdeveloped to go.
Did Did she say more of what we require?
She said she wanted to see our deeds and to hear our songs. And when I pressed her, she gave me, I don't know if this was of pity or to taunt, but I don't think so. I think she offered it as a lesson. And the name of this place to the west, I think, is Crystal Remembrance. Apparently these women of the moon are guardians of Crystal Remembrance. So
She's talking about the place to the west is not the place she was scoping out. Or is it?
So basically, somewhere to the west of your city is Crystal Remembrance, or something like that. And the settlement site is like is pretty close to it.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Finally, Domina, I don't know if this is germane or not, and it is in the written report, but I'll tell you that there was a beast, a creature, a being, a snow white coat. It had 4 legs like a jaguar, but it was much, much larger. It had a horn coming from its head, and it was her companion. It could heal any malady. Some of us were damaged, and it healed us.
Do I get an image, vision, as she's talking?
With that same 28 that you got, because it was 18 on the die.
18.
No,
It was a total. It was a total 18. Okay. There is a brief image of essentially what you, Tatiana, would recognize as a unicorn.
And do we know about those beings?
Again, to the west, these reports come out sometimes, but Coatl was so well established, and you always had so much business to the south that that hasn't been explored quite the same way.
Okay, and my last question, did I get a sense of Crystal Remembrance when
No.
you're talking about it?
No.
Okay.
That is shrouded in shadows.
Just like the Grove.
Okay,
And you're nearly to the plaza now.
is there anything else she shared with you?
Many things, but to be honest, I feel like my brain can hardly... You're smarter than I am. I feel like my brain can hardly hold everything that I experienced. It was, most of the time, it was just music. They communicate to each other in song and smells and... Wait. She said that we were communicating that her mind was communicating directly to my mind. I think is how she said it. Mind speak? Maybe that was it.
And is that something that Ocatla has experienced?
I mean, you have the sight, so yeah. That's definitely not impossible to you.
Wow, how beautiful. Thank you for your bravery.
I hope that helps, mistress, with all my heart.
It helps tremendously. And as we protect ourselves in this vulnerable time, may we sing.
I knew you would be able to put it in order. All right, Nilishli, you see the remnants of the Child's Festival that was here. You see the small little symbols of the Lord of the Dawn Star. You see the rubble. This is the place. And he's buried under a building. What do you want to try to do? The rest of the party pauses and waits for you.
Stop. He's under here.
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 And who's with us? Just like...
Probably
4
just
people?
yeah. Unless you called some guards
And
with
it
you.
seems like an incredible... Yeah, I probably have like at least 2 guards with me.
Sure.
And it's like a huge... Like a project.
A
really.
project.
It wouldn't work just the 4 of us.
We can start digging.
You can start digging.
That's what you use.
I take a deep, deep, deep sigh, and I start making my way over, rolling up my sleeves as I do so.
Do I sense him?
You think Nilishli's telling the truth, for what it's worth. You could use your ray of desiccation and start trying to carve through some of this rubble to get to him.
Do I get the sense that the Talon, just on its own, could do something?
You'd be splitting the masonry, but the raise probably a combination of the two. Yeah.
Okay, stand back. I will break down some of the rubble on my own.
Back up.
What I cannot finish, you come in.
Superwoman.
So
Lanali starts, you, come here, and she starts conscripting people, basically, but yeah.
I'm gonna just like ask everyone to step back, basically,
Yeah.
and I'm just gonna go for it. I mean, there's
You just go ham on this
Yeah,
thing.
I go ham with my ray.
Like blast after blast
Yeah,
after.
it's
Okay.
We've never seen anything like this before, right?
No. This is unfettered might. The unfettered might of Tezcatli.
Exciting.
And you hit just piece after piece after piece. It does take a while, but you're determined. You have a 20 con, so you just keep shooting and shooting and shooting. It looks like there's a small sea of dust just coming off. The men get in there, and you drive them without relentlessly to get in there and get this guy. And finally, exhausted, sweaty, filthy, the men pull out the last chunk, and you see a muscular golden forearm and hand sticking out of the rubble. What do you guys do?
He's here.
It's him. I know it's him. And I would go and scurry over, kneel down to his hand.
Lanali runs over there. Domina, I'm the strongest with apologies, Avatar, I believe I'm the strongest physically out of all of us. I'm going to attempt to pull him out. Will you help me?
Aye.
So the two of you, because you can only get so many hands, because you're still kind of on the shifting rubble, so trying to get 20 people up there is very dangerous. So you get up there, make an athletics check with advantage, because she's helping you.
Roll twice.
That's gonna be a 14.
14? With her 20 strength pulling and your 14, yeah? Okay. It's not, you have to blast out a little bit more of this last chunk to drop the weight, but finally the two of you and you see him there. His eyes are closed. His body is battered and torn, but it is intact.
Is he breathing?
No. So,
Does he ever breathe?
Constructs breathe?
Well, yeah, that's what I'm asking.
he can hold his breath because he's deeper into his progress than Nilishli. He can hold his breath for inhuman amounts of time, but he is still, like you, he was still made to experience the physical world. So he does still eventually need to breathe.
I get close to him and examine his face and notice similarities.
He looks like your golden-hued, honestly, it's closer than cousin. He looks like your golden-hued brother. And what do you can feel... Actually, Allie, I'm going to let you make the choice as a player. Is Nilishli sticking here for part 2 of this, or is Nilishli dissipating back into the present moment?
I think she's sticking here for part 2 of this.
Okay, I'm going to play her in the combat then.
Okay.
All right. Okay. And
Yeah.
what are you doing with who you now know is like your metaphysical brother?
I feel...
Because you're not letting him go until he's safe or protected somehow,
Yeah.
I think.
But hold on, do I get the sense he's still alive?
He is still intact, but he's inert right now. Like something that's been switched off.
So I can't sense if he's with us still or not, really. Okay.
He's kind of in this in-between, state.
Then I'm going to closely look at him and feel some sort of kinship that I have not felt ever before.
Ever.
I have no family. And a strong urge overcomes me to get him to a safe place and immediately begin healing his wounds.
That makes complete sense to me. All right, folks. Next session, we will have Orin the Undying and your undying love for him take place. We will have Nalishli's attempt to revive Ocatla, the leader. We will have the continued good fellowship and easy bonhomie of Corey. I actually really liked what you said earlier, and I think I'm unofficially calling this the Court of Fangs. I really like that. For a lot of reasons. It works for a lot of reasons. Okay, faraway friends. That is where we will leave the story for now. And hopefully you were able to derive some pleasure from that. I know our players did. A little something different. And next time we will have Donnie back.
Baby Donnie.
We'll have Baby Donnie back. A reminder that every Friday, Corey and I are doing a session of essentially After Dark, but we're doing a
X-Spaces version where you can come in and talk and collaborate and discuss, and then we have...
and that's going to be pretty freewheeling. That's basically about, we have some stuff that we hit, and then so that's from 6 to 7, and then from 7 to 8, I'm back on YouTube, just this channel, normal thing, doing our next session of After Dark, and we're going to talk about this session. We're going to talk about GMing tips, basically whatever you want to do. All right, thank you so much for being with us on this journey, and as you go about out there on your own, stay safe and stay curious.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys.